when it comes to women's health. Every day, women rely on birth control and emergency contraception like the morning after pill to prevent pregnancy. But is it less effective if the woman is overweight? And in this case, let's start with emergency contraception. And we were talking about this earlier. Now it's over the counter, there are all these options out there, but then this story that, wait a minute, your weight may affect whether or not it works. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Well, when it comes to emergency contraception, you basically have three options. Option number one is the very popular over-the-counter medication, Levonorgestrel. And when it comes to that medication that women frequently go to the store to get, weight is very, very, very important. In fact, in some clinical trials, they found that when a woman weighed more than 175 pounds, the risk of pregnancy after she took that emergency contraception went way up. In fact, they had about the same odds of getting pregnant as they would have if they did not take any medication at all.
And that's what is popularly known as the over-the-counter morning after pill.
Exactly.
Is that right? Okay.
That is correct.
Are women advised of that, Nita, before they, purchase this drug? Do they know that if I weigh over 175 pounds, it may not be effective?
They are not. They typically do not have that information. The FDA looks like they're waiting for more and more studies before they put a warning on that. But we do have these trials that suggest that, so it's something women definitely need to be aware of.
Well, what's scary about this, Dr. Nita, is that you, as a woman, I wouldn't even know to ask the question.
You would just assume.
Yeah, you're educating us, and thank you for doing so. But if I'm going to buy this medication, I just assume, hey, it says over the counter, I can take it, it's a contraceptive. How do I even know?
And for now, it's not on the labeling, is it?
Not yet. The FDA is waiting on more studies, but we do have those clinical trials. But the reason you know is because you watch the doctors. And when you tell me stuff like this, that's how you know. That's how you know.
Watch the doctors.
There you go. But that's option number one. Option number two is a prescription medication called ulipristal acetate. And with that one, the clinical trials state that when women had a body mass index of about 35, that's when the effectiveness of that particular oral medication started to decline. But the third option is a copper IUD, a copper intrauterine device. That is going to be the most effective form of emergency contraception, and it's going to be very effective regardless of a woman's weight.
But obviously that goes well beyond taking a medication. That
you
is
have to go
something
to a
that
doctor,
require...
and it should be placed within 5 days of unprotected intercourse.
I'm curious, the understanding behind why maybe this isn't as effective in a woman who's overweight, do we have a good understanding of that, or is this one of those things that we're teasing it out as we go?
Well, we think that there may be a number of things going on. Perhaps it's because larger women have more blood volume, and then the medication is going to be diluted. Also, maybe some of the fat cells are sequestering some of the medication. Maybe they're metabolizing it differently. There can be a lot of different things going on. But I do want to say, in addition to providing emergency contraception, the IUD can also provide a reliable form of birth control for up to 12 years. But you talk to your doctor about risk and benefits of different birth control methods, but that's another added benefit.
Look, there are so many potential side effects and all these little things, whether it's on the package or not, and we all assume that it all works great, it's all perfect, and I think this is another story. This is a big deal. If you're trying to avoid pregnancy and you assume this is going to work and it doesn't, that's a life changer.
Yeah.
I didn't know that IUD was an option for...
I didn't know that
the copper, copper IUD, not the...
Okay, but I didn't know that was an option. So a lot of women out there just... Up to 5 days.
My recommendation is going to be to have a relationship with your obstetrician gynecologist, like Dr. Nita here, and have these conversations, right? Because boy, oh boy, there's so much that we don't know.
It is true.
You got a short window of time to act, too.
It's not one of those, well, let me contemplate this for the next few weeks.
No, and the sooner you take it, it's better to get on the emergency contraception sooner as opposed to later. Within 5 days for the copper IUD, for the prescription oral medication within 5 days, for the over-the-counter, ideally 3 days, but they say you may be able to stretch it out to 5, but sooner is better, and know that it also depends on when you take it in your menstrual cycle as far as how effective it's going to be.
And this is why we have doctors who specialize in obstetrics and gynecology, right? That's why you need that resource in your life.